Talk about it all here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button.
You know, one thing about Jaden that I've tried to talk to him about is tightening his chin strap. Because he doesn't tighten it, so every time he gets hit, it looks like his helmet's all messed up. And it's like, oh God, he just got rocked.
For the win! Caught! It's good! LSU does it!
After fucking Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, boys. Are you kidding me?
Well, LSU fan came stuck his spike in my booty.
That motherfucker hard!
Fan brought his 2 grandkids by and literally was just 30 seconds, just wanted to say thank you for the team and the season and what you did and how much it means to everybody here is truly what makes LSU special.
Yeah. Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you.
Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Clearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if Chica is offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, we open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show, yeah.
Let's go! Let's go! All right! Big start. Big day. Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you. Thanks, sir. Thank you for the time.
Good morning and welcome in. As you can see in the title before Lloyd fixed it.
Changed it, fixed it.
If you haven't refreshed your page. Ryan Eads in studio. Just kidding. It's John Eads. We'll have John Eads.
You know
in
what,
Studio
Noah?
8.
In this NIL era. Oh, hello. In this
really
NIL
good.
era, it could be anyone. He's coming back to play again.
He's running back. But, John Eads in studio at 8 a.m. this morning to talk about LSU football as they had spring practice again yesterday.
We were talking about Jay Johnson.
We were talking about baseball really all pre-show.
I think about baseball a lot.
And that was just in Lloyd's head when he was typing the title. Luckily enough, I go to click on the YouTube video, and I saw it, and I was like, Ryan Eads. So you got a special guest?
Yeah. I had one ace up my sleeve.
There you go. But no, we have John Eads coming in. His weekly. We're doing
Can't fit him up my sleeve.
No. Can't fit his own sleeves. But, we'll have John in at 8 a.m. And then, obviously, he'll talk about LSU football. Spring practice again yesterday, media availability. If you didn't see the little highlight video, about 10 minutes of practice that Christian shot, some really good stuff with the defensive ends, offensive line. As they're back on the ground, no more sitting up in the balcony videoing down. They're back on the ground, and you can see the offense kind of roll through some of their simple stuff. So go ahead and make sure you check that out after this. We'll have John Eads in to talk about what he's seen at spring practice, because they do have tomorrow, obviously, the spring game, which is just an additional open practice. I would assume it's in Tiger Stadium. It is in Tiger. It's got to be in Tiger Stadium. There's no way people are going to the Ponderosa. In Tiger Stadium.
You know what's
gates open at 9:30.
Oh, but
bright and early.
I'm not gonna say sad. You know what's incredible about the LSU fan base?
What?
They would love to go to the Ponderosa.
100%.
Like,
just line up down the fence.
They would think. I mean, I did it whenever I was a student at LSU when they had like the one open practice a year. And I was like, I've never been to the practice. I used to peek through the wooden fence on the way to Tiger Stadium and be like, look at that grass.
It's beautiful.
And my parents were like, he should get tested because he might be.
It's the best grass in the world.
He might be autistic.
Mom, that is the best grass ever.
So 250,000 people here. My kid's staring through the fence at the grass.
Yep.
I would be concerned too.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's just called passion.
Yeah, it's just called love for the game. I mean, that's
right.
why Les ate it.
Exactly.
It's the best grass in the world, man.
Also, should have gotten him tested.
Yeah. For a few things.
Oh.
But the gates open at 9:30. They'll have individual drills, 10:35. This is just if you haven't seen the schedule for what's going to be going down tomorrow at the open practice. Individual drills at 10:35. 11:10, they'll have a first half scrimmage, 2 15-minute quarters. There will be a halftime, then a second half scrimmage at 11:50. The format to be determined. And then the scrimmage ends, and at 12:55, the autograph session is on the field of Tiger Stadium begins, and it'll all be over at 1:40. So tomorrow we'll have our guys out there shooting video, getting pictures. Christian will be out there as well, covering the spring game. We'll have that all up on the YouTube channel also, so you can check it out if you miss it. And in addition to that, we'll have Eads talking about baseball as LSU takes on Auburn in the Plains this weekend. They start tonight as we have Cade Anderson versus Sammy Dutton, as C-Dub in the chat says, listen, all I know is Sam Dutton better be the Sam Dutton I saw for the last couple of years. According to his stat line.
Not so fast, my friend. Sammy Dutton
flashed. Mm-hmm. But the Sammy Dutton that's playing right now for
are you talking about national champion Sam Dutton?
Yep, national champion Sam Dutton.
Pitched in the College World Series.
In the game 2? Did he pitch game 2 against Florida?
Yeah.
I think everybody pitched in game 2 against Florida.
Jay was talking about that the other day, and they asked him about Sam Dutton, like, go, transfer portal, whatever, and he was like, listen, I don't know how many people know, but obviously a guy that I wish well for, whatever, would have loved to have kept him because,
right.
But his story is, it makes a lot of sense that he's at Auburn. He got married over the break.
Okay.
His brother was playing baseball. He's from Alabama.
Okay.
And his brother was playing at a lower level college there. Their program went defunct, so he went to Auburn. He gets married, so family time. So it all kind of lined up for him to move back home in a way. But also he's like, talking about Sam Dutton. He's like a contributor.
Like, because the cool thing about the College World Series, not the cool thing, we got pumped, but in game 2, like, everybody that was on the roster got to play.
Yeah. Everybody got to go.
What a silver lining.
Yeah, I mean, especially
we got our
looking
shit
back,
kicked in, but everybody got to play.
Looking back, since you won, you can say, we also did a nice thing where everybody got to get on the field, get on the diamond.
Who hasn't got any innings yet?
Yep.
Get out there.
Go ahead and get the bullpen and get warm. We'll
You
get
ever
you out there.
pitched? You want to?
Yeah. Imagine they would
Beloso?
put Beloso on the bump.
Is that Riley Cooper?
I
That's
think
Cade
trotting
Beloso.
Cade Beloso out to the mound.
Hey, my guy would have gotten 3 outs.
He would have. He'd have found a way.
That man finds a way.
That 100%.
Slide that 47 on.
So we'll have Eads getting ready to talk about some LSU baseball tonight, as he'll join us at 8 a.m. this morning. But just a little bit about practice yesterday. Christian with a little last night. Not really an he just kind of didn't do his job. We asked him to get the player interviews locked and loaded. Like the second.
No. We didn't ask him.
We told him.
No, he volunteered.
No, I said. I mean, I just said in the group chat, hey, let's have those player interviews for tomorrow because it's good content. And Christian said, what did he say? Look, I'm going to read it verbatim.
Yes.
Because we got here this
girlfriend's
morning,
already causing problems.
already causing issues. He's going to have to break up with her.
Yeah.
We're going to have to.
He's about to have some real life stuff happen. He shouldn't have done this.
Make sure we have player interviews for tomorrow's show. Cut them, ? Christian says. Yes. All righty. And then we get here this morning, not there. Don't see the player interviews cut.
If I'm him.
Mm-hmm.
No, not really an excuse.
No,
he knows how to cut them. He knows where they are.
Right. We addressed this before. He was also here yesterday because they recorded Rally Time. Justin recorded Rally Time yesterday, and Christian produces it. So Christian was here. Like, could have just used this setup over here that Lloyd is using and knocked it out. It would have taken, 10 minutes? If that. So Christian's dropped the ball this morning. He has to break up with his girlfriend this weekend, though. That's the decision, because she's obviously getting in the way of him being able to do his job.
Puppy love.
So we're gonna make
the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, they're in their Puerto Rico phase.
Mm-hmm. Well, 1001. Be first or last.
Lord have mercy. But yeah, no, I mean it was some good clips of the guys talking yesterday to the media availability. I thought Jacobian Guillory's media availability was very eye-opening, and it was nice to hear just kind of his mindset going into next season as he is recovering from that Achilles injury, which, I mean, obviously you didn't know if he was going to get an extra year. He did, and he decided he wanted to come back because his career wasn't over. He said, and here's a quote, and Lloyd's going to get the video pulled up, I believe. You have it? Let's do it. Yep. Where he just kind of talks about his career and his decision to come back, and it was nice to hear just kind of his thought process, as not only is he going to be an important part of the on-the-field portion for LSU, but this is a leader for this program because he's been here, been around. He's a vocal guy. And you saw when the interview was done here, his mindset going into the offseason, but now him talking about where he's at, looking towards next year. This is who you want leading your program on the field.
Right now I'm just doing individual, but it's been like since day one I've been doing kind of practicing it, but now I'm in full pads, just getting the feel of what it feels like to be in pads doing individual as a D lineman.
How does it feel just to be back on the field after what you
great. No setbacks and like that. I warm up like 2 hours early before I even go on the field, so it really feels good. So just waiting for that 100% full go.
How would you describe what it has been like to recover from an Achilles injury?
The mental part is the worst part because literally I couldn't walk. So relearning how to walk, and like I said, relearning how to run, jog, relearning that is the hardest part. But thankfully I have my family with me. You know what I mean? Without them, I literally I don't know what I would have did, but they literally were my backbone to help me up the whole process.
Mentally stepping out there for the first time, was there any
hurdles that you?
No, I was ready to go. I don't know. I've been doing this for so long. You know what I mean? And I just it felt like a first day, but at the same time, I was just excited to be out there with the guys. You know, not just watching, like actually getting a chance to do indie, getting a chance to like just be hands on.
Did you, when I guess kind of in the process, did you know that you wanted to come back for another year?
As soon as it happened.
Yeah.
As soon as they told me, I told my Achilles, I know I wanted to come back. Yeah.
Why is that, you think?
Like I said down there, it was I kind of when I went down, I thought it was like an ankle sprain. So when they told me, I told my Achilles. The moment I literally just rethought about my whole career, and I just wasn't satisfied. So, for me, I like to finish what I start, regardless of what everybody else thinks. And I started here, and I want to finish here, and I want to finish when I started. And that's the end goal is the national championship. At the end of the day, that's what the main goal is. And I know, like, if we would have did that last year, I wasn't gonna be a part of that. I still was gonna come back. So just finishing when I started, that was really the main thing about coming back.
Yeah, I mean, C-Veal's 100% right in the chat. Me and Lloyd were kind of chatting while that was going on. C-Veal says, it's nice to see this kid's maturity show through this interview. He's going to be a solid leader of that room. You can see if you go back and just some of the other times he's met with the media, the growth he's had just in that realm of an interview setting. But my thing was when you see him talk, and that was Wilson Alexander.
Yes.
And shout out to Wilson. Who asked some really good questions there, but like you saw Jacobian answering, his face is like he's
lighting up.
He's lighting up talking about football and talking about the opportunity that he has to play this sport and to move forward this season. And that's exactly the guy that you want to see lead your team. Like you want, like C-Dub says in the chat, that's the type of guy you want on your roster, 100%. But not only is he on the roster, he's a leader of this team. Like, as much as we talk about Whit Weeks with 18, like I think Jacobian's right there in
I
the
was
discussion.
just thinking about that.
Like, and I think Whit Weeks probably has it locked up because of just the leadership he's shown throughout all of this. But Jacobian's right there, I think. Like that, watching that, if it wasn't for Whit, I would say 18.
Yeah.
Like,
and hey, you know, that testament.
Yeah.
If you got two 18s, it's not a bad thing.
No,
just
not
saying
at
that
all.
you have two leadership, like kind of quality guys on that
Right.
side of the football is a great problem to have. But yeah, you can see, because we've known Jacobian since he got here.
Yeah.
Like we've interviewed him countless times, and not only the maturity, but the comfortability of being able to sit up there and answer questions. And like you said, once you get kind of something taken away from you, you kind of put everything right back into play. It gives you perspective.
Yeah.
At some point, you're grinding through college and football, and you're like, this is hard. It sucks. Like football is kind of my job. Then you lose it, and you're like, oh no, wait, I actually need that. I love it. And you can see kind of that in his eyes and the way he talks about football and coming back and like the job wasn't finished yet. And that kind of mentality, like I said, when you lose something and then you're like, oh wait, I have the opportunity to get it back again. I think he's going to play very inspired football and also has a family now. Like there's a lot riding for Jacobian Guillory in this year, and he's going to be a key part of that defensive line.
100%. And just the quote he finishes off with is obviously the one that's got the most run, where he said that he wasn't satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had to look back and take a step back and look at his entire career. And he rethought the whole thing, and he realized that he wasn't satisfied and that his end goal was a national championship. And tell you what, it got me fired up over here just sitting listening to it, man, because those are the guys that set you up for a special season, man. Like he
It's
really
got you going Gruden.
Yeah, 100%. Man,
that kind of shit fires me up, man.
Gets me going. Makes me feeling really nicey.
Say it again.
Like it was, but that was a really good interview, and for Jacobian, that's a leader. And he's in a position group with, like, that's why some of my concern about Kyle Williams stepping in, I didn't have too much concern about his ability to lead that room, was because he had a guy like number 90 in the room with him. Like, this is a guy who's been through all of these coaches. He's had all 8 defensive line coaches over the last 6 seasons, and he stuck around. And with that mindset and that desire to come back to win a national championship, like that being his goal, Like, he didn't come back just to play football. He didn't come back to go to the NFL. He didn't come back to boost his draft stock. He came back to LSU to win a national championship. That's his goal, and that's a guy that's leading this team and is going to push forward for push everyone to the same goal. I mean, push everyone in the same direction to win a national championship.
And we've talked about some of the transfer portal guys like coming in and having leadership qualities.
Right.
That's another guy that you can look to if you are kind of like looking to way how LSU football rolls. Find 90.
Yeah.
He'll let you
know.
let you know.
Yeah.
Because like last year when we were at the practice, we're at a different time. You're able to get very vocal.
Yes.
The guy will let you know not only if he made a big play, but he's very much instrumental in how they move around on the defensive line, like a leader of men out there. And there's no doubt in my mind that he and Kyle Williams are going to get along swimmingly.
Yes, well, 100%. I mean, North Louisiana guys, and they have this similar feel about them where they're I mean, Jacobian's not the biggest height-wise, and you know, he's got that underdog mentality now because he's coming back from this injury. I think they're going to be a match made in heaven. And I thought that interview was excellent. DJ Chester also met with the media, and I thought that was also some really good insight for him because he is somebody that a lot has been made of, you know, when you're talking about going from last season to this season and just the way the roster's been constructed and all these things. It was not the easiest and best redshirt freshman campaign as he got, you know, put into an offensive line that was already set in stone. They had one spot to be filled. He got moved there. He's on the line with 4 NFL guys that were going to go to the draft and get drafted, especially with Campbell and Jones, who are both, in my opinion, first-round talents. Campbell, a top 5 talent. And it wasn't always the easiest season for DJ, where, you know, he's got the snap infractions, the false starts, the all those different issues, and a lot of people slotted him, including us. You know, when we saw Braylon Moore get signed, it was okay. Braylon Moore's the center, and Chester's going to slide over or slide back or what have you. I put it out on Twitter yesterday. I believe regardless of where DJ's at, you know, if he's center or guard, he's a part of your best 5. Because of his size, and then really the mindset that you saw him have in some of these answers to these questions, I thought were excellent. Zach Nagy had a really good tweet with a clip of DJ that Lloyd's got pulled up for you, and just his mindset when you talk about going into this offseason and the competition that's been built in that room and where he's at.
Competition at next level. When I make it, competition gonna bring people in. Gotta trust in my work. Gotta trust in what everything I do every day. And competition. I would never run away from competition. I love it. I've been having competition since I was in high school.
Yeah, I mean, they brought Braylon Moore. I mean, they brought somebody in at your position
to take your job.
And I know we're not going to make much of the depth chart and the starting offensive line right now in spring and all those things, but he has stayed solid with that first group, and has looked good for the most part throughout spring camp. And when you just look from a sheer size perspective, I mean, he's a pretty large man,
6'5", 330.
Yeah, and to me, that mindset is something that is going to separate you. Like, he could have easily got angry, upset, tired, you know, why would I work harder when I went through the whole season as a starter? You brought somebody in to take my job? He could have just rolled over and let him have it, transferred out, stuck around, and his mindset is, come on,
competition,
bring it.
And from an LSU perspective, like in totality, you would have hoped that you could have slid. Like, Braylon Moore's a 3-year starter at Virginia Tech. He didn't come here to not play. Like, this is a guy that is all conference in the ACC, takes a chance. He's like, I want to go play in the SEC and be a part of the best conference in the country.
Yep.
And I think everybody, once you saw the deal get done, it was pencil him in. And the one person that was not agreeing to that was DJ Chester. Like, that's my job. I did it for an entire year
Yeah.
and struggled through it. Like, I didn't go through all of that to just give my job up. But in totality, you would like to think Braylon Moore wins that job, and you can find DJ Chester, who's the way that he's built.
Yeah.
And with that size, it's not a prototypical center. Like, think about, like, Jason Kelsey.
Right.
Like, that's a nice center, like, size-wise.
Yes.
Sturdy.
Yeah.
But
Solid.
not 6'5", 330.
No.
But there's a spot for 6'5", 330 on that line, and you have a lot of pieces that you get. And when we talk about, like, starting positions and all of this, like, think about the carousel that the offensive line is. You see different people in different positions. Center, by far, the second hardest position on the field in terms of offensive line, like left tackle center, I would say, in terms of certainly the second most responsibility, and that's after quarterback.
Yeah.
DJ Chester went through all of that in live, real game war situations where you have to make decisions, you have to be able to learn under fire, and he did, and he got better as the season went on. Like, there's a lot to point to with DJ Chester. You're watching him kind of go through it in terms of, that doesn't play the position. And then you saw him get better as it went on. And there are things that very easy to point to, and that's why you went to the portal.
Right.
To, like, you need a guy that's been there, been to war, couple tours, and is coming back and would like to do it again. So I do think there's a world where you see DJ Chester, yes, he's getting reps at center. Great, and he's not giving it up. But also, you would like to think that Braylon Moore can come in and be that center. It might be a thing where Braylon Moore is so vetted out that let him get reps.
Yeah, and on top of that, and it should bring some comfort to an LSU fan's mindset, because their thought is, like, if Braylon Moore does take the starting center job, he went and got it. Like, he didn't just come in and get it given to him. Like, if DJ's got this mindset and this thought process that I'm going to battle you for that job, that means Braylon Moore is going to come in and earn it. He's not coming in and just getting it because he's done it for 3 years in the ACC. He's getting that job because he earned it. He beat DJ Chester out. And I think DJ Chester will be better for it. If they're getting to compete and battle and go back and forth, it's going to make DJ a better offensive lineman. And I think a lot of the reason why you went out and got a veteran guy at that position is because of more the mental aspect than anything else. You're losing your entire offensive line, and you saw how much Will Campbell had on his plate last year, how much Nussmeier had on his plate. You want another veteran mindset of somebody that can say, okay, identify what the defense is doing, make sure everyone's in the right spots, take some stuff off of Nussmeier and Sloan's plate, and help guide these other 4 offensive linemen that are going to be younger. Besides Josh Thompson and Braylon Moore, you have a relatively young offensive line room. And so it was really, I really liked hearing DJ Chester's mindset and his thought process, and I think LSU will be better for it, regardless of who gets the center job, because I think we'll see in fall camp truly who is the guy. I don't think there's much to be made of the starting positions in spring camp. But you also get a look at it, tomorrow in the open practice of what the groups look like and how everyone performs at their positions. And I think that's an interesting spot to pay attention to, the center position, as you see DJ Chester and Braylon Moore kind of be in that spot. So,
what is like a few of the things that you would be looking for if there's anything to take from, like, I think the top of the list, right, has to be like DJ Pickett.
What, tomorrow?
Yeah, like if you're just going and you like want to go see something, like if you're going.
Yes, DJ Pickett and Harlem Berry, I think, would probably be at the top of the list of, I just want to go see these 2 5-stars that.
Right, which is a great. LSU has not been there in a minute.
Right.
Of like freshman guys that are coming in, like, oh, kind of want to. It's reminds me of whatever I would go to spring games.
Right.
Like, I would go to this if it was a spring game.
Yeah, it's like the spring game before the 2019 season, where it's like, I mean, there's a lot to go see, but I mean, Derek Stingley's been impressing everyone during bowl practices. This is our first time to go sit and watch him.
Coach O really put the pressure on him, huh?
Yeah.
At the Fiesta Bowl, if he could play, I'd play him. Like, okay, but covering, I guess I was covering the team then for 104.5, and the noise around Derek Stingley was already palpable. Like it was holy, like he's gonna play. And he might be, and then you had like the spark ratings that came. You're like, oh my god!
Yeah.
And then the 7-on-7 stuff. You're like, oh my god! This ain't just a Dunham thing. This isn't him like running around against 2 A-cats. This is like he's a freak amongst freaks, and to have kind of that. I'm not calling him, Stingley or anything like that. Pickett's built differently, totally alien
different player. Yeah,
but to have that kind of excitement around it where you have a 5-star, like, you're going to play.
Yeah.
And so that would be something that I would be excited to go see. I don't know how this really the structure of it will all work. Like, I don't know what you'll be able to see and not see because you would get some live reps in the spring game where you're like, this is kind of fun.
Right.
Like, a lot of it was a very much a, 2-minute, drill-based stuff, but you would see some live reps in there that was, good on good.
And I think those young guys are going to get live reps.
Oh, yeah.
More than anybody. Because they need to get used to playing in Tiger Stadium with all of these eyes on them, the mental aspect of that. But yeah, that would be the first check would be those 2 young guys.
And now after the player interviews, I'd imagine everybody's gonna be looking at center.
Yeah, 100%.
They're gonna want to see some of these transfer guys that came in also.
Yeah, new faces,
whatever and that 2 of which are offensive line. People will be.
Yeah, where's 56 and
you got
61?
that roster? What number is he?
Right. And I think they've made the numbers pretty easy to remember who it is. I think number 4 on offense and defense are new faces. Offensive line 56 and 61.
If you want to guarantee yourself a good time, just go watch the kick return, punt return group.
There you go. They did. That was also in the YouTube video from practice yesterday. There were 3 guys back there returning punts, and I'll let you guess who those 3 guys were because it should be pretty simple and who the selection is for punt returner. Who do you think, Lloyd? Who do you think the 3 names are returning punts at practice yesterday?
Shadir Mitchell.
Nope. He was at practice yesterday, though.
Yes.
He was at practice, but he was not returning punts.
Garrett Nussbauer.
I think he might have caught 1 or 2.
I would imagine.
Nah,
quarterbacks think they have the best hands on the team.
They, of course, catching those snaps.
Berrien Brown.
Berrien Brown, yep.
Savion Thomas.
Yep.
Aaron Anderson.
Yeah, those were the 3.
John Emery.
And I don't think, nope.
Oh.
Not a Tiger. Sorry about it.
Where is he?
But yeah, those are the 3. And I think that was the easiest question to be answered is who's going to return punts? Well, one of these 3 guys.
All 3.
Let's put them all 3 back there, get kind of have some fun with it. The amount of speed they have. So, that's another thing people are going to look at if they even get to show, if they even show punting, because I don't know if they'll show any punting.
You might put that thing in the old and just shoot them out there.
Yeah, we're not going to kick any. We're not going to kick
wind. Bad wind today.
Yeah, it was hamstring's a little tight. Hammy's tight. We don't really want him to.
Whatever. Badger, go get it, son.
I think a lot of eyes are going to be on the safety position just because there's new faces. No more Sage Ryan, no more Major Burns. Jordan Gilbert's obviously injured.
End of an era.
So yeah, no, that's for sure. And so it's going to be new faces back there regardless. Is it going to be Deshaun Spears, TaMarcus Cooley, Joel Rogers? All of those guys, I think a lot of eyes will be there because that's a position that everyone thinks
is a weakness.
Is a weakness, and they need to go get in the portal. And obviously you saw, I think, a Florida safety go into the portal this past week, and obviously that alerted a lot of LSU fans' eyes because of Corey Raymond and the fact that he was at Florida the past 2 seasons before return. Or the 2 seasons prior to getting to LSU. So you'll obviously be paying attention to the safety position, in my opinion. That's something that I would be paying attention to if I was there. Wolfgang asked in the chat, the punting and kicking are a mess. Why can't BK have a good punter and a field goal kicker who can make a 50-yarder? High school kids do that on a regular basis. It will cost LSU a game again. I think that the Aaron Burrell is the guy at kicker, but Damian Ramos is he's a sure thing 45 and in. And he's been here, done
Mr.
it.
45.
Burrell, he's got the leg to kick it from wherever. But he's still...
There's some videos that are coming out of Burrell kicking field goals, and it is...
quite impressive.
Sebastian.
Yeah. He's got an absolute
howitzer attached to his leg.
It's Thor's hammer for a right leg, and
but
he's still got to. I mean, power is just one aspect of it. You got to be able to put it between the uprights.
Crowd pulse.
Yeah. And,
I do Mr. 45. I trust Danny.
Yes, Danny.
Now, when it gets to 51, I would not be opposed to if you saw both.
Really?
I've seen it
you
before.
Got your pistol.
And then
you got
your 50 caliber rifle staring right down your eyes, boy. Make a move.
Yeah, no, I mean, and then punter is a different.
Garrett Nussmeier should learn to quick kick.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that's where I am.
Really? I mean, everything's really on the table when it comes to punter.
I'm not concerned about the field goal kicking.
No, me neither.
I'm not concerned about kicking off. I'm not concerned about kick returns. I'm no longer concerned about punt returns. There's one more aspect of this that I am extremely concerned about still. And you wouldn't got somebody. And so it's starting to become an LSU problem.
Peyton Todd is still here.
Todd, Holder.
That's another aspect because a lot of my pushback against, with the field goal unit was the decisions. There were a lot of times they trotted Ramos out there in spots that I would not have, where he's kicking from 50 or wherever.
It just seems to be
and then they were fumbling the snaps, and it was a bad snap or bad hold.
And you have a new snapper this year.
Now you have a new snapper. You've got the same holder. It would be
nice
to not.
It's an underdeveloped part of the game. Even when you talk about special teams as a whole, it just feels underdeveloped. I know, you have. When I say the kickoff
behind,
they don't have to worry about it because you literally don't have to practice that. You've seen one ball Aaron Burrell didn't put out the back, and it's because Connor Lacey shot a man, and so you had to kick, and he still put it to the 5,
and made the tackle.
He should have thrown.
He did it again last night.
Good.
It's his celebration. Every 3.
And sidebar, don't do it. Don't fine him. Don't do anything because it's only going to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
so let him live with this. He bested you.
Yes, he wins. Let him win.
He played your game and won.
Right.
But so you don't even really have to practice kickoffs for LSU because he's put it out the back. Yeah, I can make it from here. Canadian football, that's 1 point. But the other part seems so vastly underdeveloped since Brian Kelly's been here.
It's unbelievable.
It's infuriating.
Yes.
Because who said it? Seville or Sabrion? He was in the chat. Says it's going to cost you a game.
It was Wolfgang.
Well, Wolfgang. Yeah. And this is year 4. It's been, you've fixed one part of it in 4 years, but it's just been either take the car into the shop or buy a new one. I'm tired of changing the oil. I'm tired of putting new tires on it. I'm tired of checking the engine light. We've done all 3 of this. Is the car run or not? Right now, it feels like you have a lemon.
That's a great analogy.
And I don't know if he's doing this because he had to send a special boy away that was in charge of special teams. And he's like, you know what, fine. If y'all don't want a special teams coach, I guess we just don't get one.
Yeah. You don't want the one I picked, then we don't get that one.
Yeah, and it could be a little about and no world.
Yeah.
Do not break glass in case of emergency and get the gold hat back out. Leave him be.
Yeah, Wolfgang, offensive line, safety, and special teams will make or break this team.
Those are 3 pretty important things.
And those are the 3, I would say, spots that all eyes will be on for LSU. You know what you have at quarterback and receiver and tight end and running back and defensive line and linebacker. I think cornerback, there's still a lot to be seen there, but just on paper, you're expecting really good cornerback play with DJ Pickett and Mansour Delane and Jakeem Jackson and Ashton Sampson, the guys you have in that room. You're expecting the play to be good there. Safety, you don't really know who it's going to be and what it's going to look like. Offensive line, it's going to be all brand new. And then special teams is going to continue to be a storyline and a concern until it's not. Until LSU goes out for a full season and you don't have continuous issues that are the same problem over and over again. Until it's solved,
I was just thinking about the Tennessee game.
Oh my! Why did you go back there?
Because that's as low as it can be, I would imagine. There's nobody standing there. But so you've gotten better, I guess, at that. That's what I was saying. When you replace like incremental pieces, like the return game feels okay. Like it feels like you saw, and that's what I don't understand about not putting an emphasis on it. When you saw what it did for you last year.
Yes.
Like this is there's no better thing in the world for a coach than a special teams touchdown, or having a special teams that fundamentally works. To be able to pin people inside, like if you're punting from, he doesn't trust anybody to flip the field. So you're going for it on 4th and 5 from your own 50, and we've been conditioned to accept it. Like, good, go for it, be aggressive. It's like, no, he doesn't trust. He's going to kick it. It's going to get into the 25 or the 20.
So I mean, I don't know how much special teams. If you're going to the scrimmage tomorrow,
I've hurt your eyes,
and even if you don't, and you're gonna, we'll have the clips put out for you the second it's over. I don't know how much special teams you'll get to see, because I'm not going to go out and say that it's not a problem anymore, because I won't say that until you see it on a continuous basis being solved during the season.
We also haven't seen it this year.
We haven't, but even like off-season stuff, I'm not even going to take into account. Even game 1 against Clemson, if it looks clean and good, I'm still not going to say it's fixed.
Oh, I don't trust her. Not going to Cancun.
Nope. Puerto Rico, no way.
Why is your location off?
Yeah.
International.
You sure you don't want to come to Oklahoma?
The roaming charges. Oh. Roaming where?
Can I have my card back, please?
Hey, babe, take your card to
Wolfgang. How many times did the punter shank it? It's a joke. Even Saban finally figured out he was losing by not getting a field goal kicker and a punter. I mean, it is a concern, and it's going to continue to be a concern until it's solved. And if you see it tomorrow, it'll give us something to talk about on Monday, because it'll either look good or look bad. There's no middle. There hasn't been any middle ground, any gray area.
No, even BK hasn't run from that. He's like, sometimes they boom at 50, other times it's 35, or it's out of the practice facility. It's a long drive contest. You have Happy Gilmore.
Well, it's just you have no idea what you're going to get back there. That's the worst part.
Which is why they go for it.
Yeah, that's why they don't do it. So, those are some of the things. Also, I think the tight end position is another group that will be looked at. Not in the same manner as safety and O-line and special teams. It's more of, what you have in Trades Green, and the potential there, and I think the potential is out of this world with a guy like that at that position. But it'll also be interesting to see what Bauer Sharp and Donovan Green look like, and what that group looks like together. If they put 2 on the field, if they put 3 on the field, if they just stick with 1, they split Trades out wide, all of those things. Terrell Fife in the chat, I'm not worried about special teams more than I am the safety play. I mean, there's two ways to look at that. Obviously, safety play has more of a direct effect on the game, like as they're going to be on the field more than special teams is. But special teams is something that's just been a complete and utter mess for 3 years, going on 4 years. And you haven't really seen that problem be addressed. I guess similar things could be said about safety play, but you've had the same safeties for the last 2 years, and those guys are now gone, and you've got new guys that are stepping into those positions. There's at least somewhat of a silver lining with safety play rather than special teams. Like, there's a way to look at the safety position and look at it in a positive light, because the 2 guys that you've had at those positions that haven't played well, one of them is going into the draft and one of them's on another team. And now you've got guys like Deshaun Spears and Joel Rogers who are developing. You brought in a Tamarcus Cooley and other guys at those positions just to see what that looks like. So those are obviously the things to look forward to tomorrow and to keep a close eye on if you're going to be in Tiger Stadium, if you're going to watch it after. I don't think it'll be televised, so I doubt that you'll be able to watch it live.
The revolution will be televised.
But we will have it videoed and put out to you guys on the YouTube channel. So
I am interested to see in the chat, Evo, what do we know about Amon Anand? Anand, I believe, is I saw it on the phonetically.
The special teams guy from Grambling.
Yeah, so
he's been a part of some really good units.
That's what I was about to say. He was at Baylor. He also
Penn State,
and he helped as a special teams coordinator, led the Big Ten in block kicks, and ranked 7th in kickoff return defense. Like those are, I would love to. When's the last time you saw a block
anything?
Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess.
I think they blocked a extra point. And speaking of, DJ Pickett's going to get one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, shoot, I saw in the little mic'd up of Trades Green that he was rushing on punt coverage.
That is silly.
Yeah, but still, I mean, imagine 6'9" with this 8-foot wingspan running at, block everything. But I mean, what we know about him is he's been a part of really good groups. He's done some really nice things.
Yeah, and it's like I said,
it's a step in the right direction.
It's not an absolute like special teams coach that's one of your guys that you hired to be in a specific, like this is your job, special teams coordinator, but he's a guy that was brought in to take care of special teams. Like he still is yet to hire like a full-time quote-unquote coach. But yeah, I'm excited to see what – it feels like that's a guy that knows what he's doing in that regard. And now it's just a matter of putting that in place. So at least you have somebody to point to.
Yes. And so, I mean, you still need the guys on the field to get it done. But like Lloyd said, it's a step in the right direction. So we don't know too much about coaching on, but it should be a step in the right direction for LSU to at least have somebody dedicated to that spot. So those are the things to keep your eyes on tomorrow. We'll have John Eads in today to break down more of what he's seen at practice and what he's expecting tomorrow. Tonight, LSU baseball versus Auburn. Cade Anderson versus Sammy Dutton. Lloyd, what are one of the things you're looking forward to seeing tonight from the baseball team, Jay Johnson's group? As Jay Johnson was in, like you said, a great mood.
Cool.
I went back and saw it and watched it. A great mood as he did his mic'd up interview on Wednesday.
And I think,
continue on.
Oh, no, I'll just say, like, a lot of that interview, not only, like, great interview, by the way, but that's not because of what we did as a collective group on our end. That was Jay carrying that interview, and I think that's telling because of where he thinks his baseball team is. Yeah. Like, you can tell he's got his guys, and he knows what he's doing at the lineup. He made some lineup changes. He's shifted some people around in with the midweek game, and I don't know if that's going to stick or not in terms of like shuffling the lineup around, because it really does feel like 1 through 9 you have your guys where they're supposed to be. The only thing that could happen is if Luis Hernandez continues to swing the way he is, you could move him around in the lineup. But I think to have him 7th is such a coup, and like it makes you dangerous 1 through 9. I would like to see. It's time for Stephen Milam to kind of have one of those weekends.
Yeah. Because
he's been like quietly, I won't say struggling offensively, but it hasn't been eye-popping yet. Like he's had good weekends, but now he's kind of been in this a little bit of like wait-and-see mode. And it's been fine because your other people, you have such a dynamic offensive lineup, but there's time for Milam to, if he gets hot too, like that's somebody that can carry, that he could, obviously you saw him do it, he could win you baseball games. And I think in these type of games, when it gets to nut-cutting time, that's when Milam is like, okay, I'm going to turn it up to a couple more. That max volume can go to 11.
Yeah.
But that's somebody I would like to see keep playing. The defense he's playing is phenomenal. And I'd like to see some more, a little just to see one of those weekends where you look up and it's, he's 6 for 10 with a home run and a triple.
Yeah.
One of those. Other than that, like, I'm interested to see what they do with Fry, the midweek king.
The midweek monster.
He keeps absolutely making you almost play him.
Yeah.
Like what he does in the midweek is they released the exit velos from Tuesday, and he was the
top 4.
He was 3 out of the 5.
Yeah.
And that's somebody that could, and he also was over 100 miles per hour off the bat.
Yeah, I saw that.
20 miles per hour. When he was running to first base, it was terrifying.
He's moving.
He's a huge person. Like you want to talk about somebody running down on kick. Like, buddy, you might be able to go both ways here. like a two-sport athlete. But that's somebody that it's crazy that he can run over 20 miles an hour and he DHs. But that's where you are. But if I'm interested to see what he does in the lineup because you're going against a guy that they are familiar with.
Yeah.
And that goes both ways. The chess match of how Auburn pitches to Stanfield because they know him very well.
Right.
And how LSU attacks Sammy Dutton, I think that's going to be like a lot of intrigue and a lot of eyeballs to see. All right, let's see what's changed from both sides because Stanfield obviously feels like he's gotten better as an offensive player. The numbers bear it out, but I'm sure they've seen a lot of balls go from Stanfield's bat to over the third baseman's head. Like I think they know what he does as much as Stanfield knows what he does, and so it'll be interesting to see how they attack him, how they pitch to him, and see if they can create some swing and miss from Stanfield. And how LSU looks at Dutton and goes, oh, he didn't do that here. Or we know exactly what he's doing. Right. Hop on him early and get him out the game. And like, nice to see you, Sammy. Like, oh.
Yeah, get out of here.
This is miserable.
I guess for me, like baseball was sport, I didn't really ever think about it in that light of when you're thinking about, like with basketball. If you've got one of your guys on that, you know how he's going to play. Like, you know straight. Like football the same way. Like, you know what this quarterback's habits are.
Tendencies.
Right. Baseball is just one I never really associated that same mindset with of Terrell Fife is this LSU's Dutton. Yes, he transferred to Auburn. My biggest thing is I want to see their mindset of you're on the road again. This is going to be game 5, 6, 7 straight, not in Alec Box, where you're going from Norman back home to Thibodeau with the Porta Johns, back home for maybe a day. And then headed out to
a man amongst the people.
Yeah,
Thibodeau.
I mean,
they've really tried to bring that baseball or the crowd onto the field. Like,
yes,
there's blurred lines there.
Yeah, you got to make. I mean, you want to bring it as close as possible. A home environment.
Get a hot dog.
There you go.
But yeah, that's an environment where it's almost like a circus. We're like, what's happening?
And then now you're back on the road at Auburn in SEC play, and that's where I'm with you on these guys with the SEC experience, like a Milam and a Jake Brown, these guys that got that experience last season, and obviously Bear, and you go down the line with some of the older guys, but this is like back-to-back road weekends in conference play. Your guys that have experienced a full season or more of this, you want them to take the lead and be like, look, this is how we're going to go out there, take care of business, make sure everybody's breathing, locked in, ready to go. If you got to bring your own juice, bring it. I expect LSU to travel pretty well.
Bring your OJ. Bring your own J.
Bring your own
J.
OJ. Bring OJ.
Oh. He's got gloves. He got batting gloves.
Come on.
Fit it all.
That doesn't go on my head.
Give him the Oscar.
But
who's Oscar? Hey, I ain't touched no Oscar.
I don't know who Oscar is. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know Oscar.
But it's going to be big.
Yeah, this is. You can look at it like one of two ways. Whenever you're road dogging, you can make it fun. Where you're like excited to be on the road. You have like your road roommates, and that's part of it that you don't really think about. But now it's become almost a routine for them at this point. Like they know who they're staying with. Like it's a pseudo. It starts to feel like home a little bit.
Yes.
Like you got your road roommates. You kind of know the ins and outs of where you're staying. And it becomes, in my mind, always like whenever you would travel for like a weekend tournament, you kind of looked forward to it in a way of like kind of get out of here. And they got to spend some time because like you had the game at Thibodeau. You had some time back at the crib. And now you're back on the road. And it starts to become like a sense of normalcy.
Right.
But I trust the leadership on this team. And that it feels different than it did last year. And that's no slight towards the guys last year. I think they kind of all looked up and looked around and was like, damn, Dylan Cruz isn't walking through that door.
Nope.
Paul Skeens isn't walking through that door.
Gavin Dugas, Cade Beloso, where they at?
Brandon Joubert.
Yeah.
Like Cooper, Ackenhausen. Like you lost so many guys that were like mainstays, and you don't realize kind of what they were doing for you until they're gone. And you're like, oh. And it takes a second to be like, oh, that's my job now. And you saw some of that last year, bringing new guys that they all live together. All of the transfer portal guys, they shoved them in a house together and like figure it out. And that's
become friends.
Yeah, and that personally, I would have done it a different way. But like, remember the Titans, like go
sprinkle them
yeah,
around.
tell me what you do got a daddy now. Like, go to, not my daddy. You're not my daddy. But they did that on their own. Like, they all lived together and they all figured it out together, which is a genius move to put them together, like explore campus, and then have guys like a Bear Jones, like a Gavin Guidry, go Michael Broswell, go down the list of people that have been here, and you get to have this, it's like a team. And that was the whole thing that they put out a video way before the season started of Jay Johnson meeting with the team, and they all had team and me on the shirt. So it was.
Oh, I remember that.
It was a point of emphasis. Like, if we want to do this, and Jay said it in 2023. Hey, y'all tell me if you want to win a national championship, I can get you there. I have the blueprint. It's right here. If you want it, you let me know. It's not gonna be easy, but you decide. And it feels kind of like that again, where these guys are team over me. We're all bought in. Like, the best example of this is Pearson. Like, Josh Pearson is a guy that's been here forever, and still, I'll platoon it. Sure.
Yeah.
You want to pinch hit my little brother for me? Absolutely.
Go get him.
It's fine.
Big baby John.
A bubby.
But we have John. Speaking of John, we have John Eads here. We will take a quick break. We'll turn right back around. We'll have John Eads with us to open up hour number 2, talk about some LSU football and baseball as spring football comes to a close and LSU is headed in Auburn tonight to take on the Tigers. We'll be right back after this.
Omaha!
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by Eids Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, Eids Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. Eids can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. Eids Lawn Maintenance.
Are you looking for sound financial advice? Then get in touch with Daniel Newman of Edward Jones. You can call him today at 225-261-8262 or email him daniel.newman@edwardjones.com. If you're planning for retirement, saving for college for children or grandchildren, or just looking for sound investment opportunities, get in touch with Daniel today, 225-261-8262, located on Magnolia Square Drive in Central. Daniel Newman of Edward Jones.
Well, the Oscar Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
48 Insurance Agency, established in 1946, helping you with your home, auto, commercial, life and health insurance needs. Around in Baton Rouge at 4275 Government Street and online at 48agency.com. Whatever insurance you're in the market for, home, auto, commercial, contractors, life and health, get in touch with 48 Insurance Agency, 48agency.com, or give them a call at 225-383-0682. 48 Agency.
Get Gordon and get it.
done. Yeah, everybody know Gordon in a 225. He done leave with Big Foe, he got buku ties. Ferrari sliding, flying in a new coupe ride. And every time I ride by, I see a brand new sign. I'm with Gordon, I know that he gon' get it done. Whether it's a big truck crash or a hit and run, recovery funds, he fighting to get a ton. Mike Epps, man, we all about the Benjamin. Handling injuries, man, are you kidding me? Gordon McKernan, that's champion energy. Yeah, family man with a family plan. Get Gordon, he gon' fix it like a handyman. Gordon, and get it done.
Welcome to Trifecta.
Trifecta Sports Therapy in Baton Rouge. Recover, repair, restore. At Trifecta, they believe in total body wellness. Trifecta gets the body back to its full potential. Whether you're a youth or pro athlete, a pre or postnatal mom, or if you lead an active lifestyle or a senior citizen, Trifecta has the class, the sports massage, the sports therapist, the stretch therapist, or the equipment like infrared sauna, cold plunges, and golf simulators to find your best. Find Trifecta online at trifectasportstherapy.com or check out the beautiful facility today, 8221 Goodwood. Trifecta Sports Therapy.
Hey, Tiger fans, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit us, Tom and Wright Granning, at Go Mart on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip.
Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on your left.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Can't fit in my schedule. I'ma do what's best with me. You can keep all your lectures. Spend the summer stacking bread, might be gone to November. Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the blood like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up. Had to focus on my business, I'm coming back smarter. Heat up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jump in the ship. Only ones that really matter, who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bouncing back like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gonna sit. Had to be patient, so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no hesitation. The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration. Look in the eyes from my kids gave me motivation. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back.
We're back here, opening up hour one, trying to recover from some of the comments Lloyd makes during the breaks. I wish you guys could hear them.
Oh, my mic was on.
The show would definitely go viral if y'all heard half the things he said when the mics are off. Y'all think it's bad when the mics are on.
We're actually have fun here.
But we've got the hardest working man in sports media here with us. WAFB Sports' own John Eads joining us here in hour number 2. We appreciate you coming in. How are you?
My name's Ryan.
Ryan Eads.
Look, I was set up. That was a trap. You got me talking about LSU baseball. And then we were like, well, what else do we want to talk about? Then he's like, oh, John Eads is coming in as LSU baseball, Ryan Eads. And I was like, oh, God.
What Ryan were you thinking about?
Huh?
What Ryan were you thinking about?
It played for LSU.
Yeah, Ryan Eads.
Oh.
The old LSU baseball player. So that's where my brain went. And it's like, oh, I was like,
well, luckily
enough, no special guest.
I looked at it. I was like, Ryan Eads. I was like, you put that in the title. You know that, right? And he was like, no. It was unbelievable.
When did Ryan Eads play at LSU?
Oh, like middle. What do you call like after 2010? The teens, like the 20-teens.
Yeah, 20-teens.
That's when he was here.
Oh, that's my brother. Actually, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, how is he?
I guess you should check the.
We haven't talked in a while.
The family tree.
You're probably right.
No, it spells Eads a different way.
Yeah, he's got an extra
E. Yeah, that's the common spelling down here with the extra E in the middle there.
Yeah, we throw a lot of extra letters around.
Yeah.
You never know what to
I've noticed that. Some people will ask me if I know this guy or that guy because the last name looks similar, but it's not quite the same.
Right.
I got a crazy story about a fun fact that I've had for years about St. Louis, and there's a Eads Bridge there, and the person that built that, and I thought I was related to him, but I had an ex-girlfriend's dad debunk that.
Really?
Print out the ancestry, the family tree, just to spite me and tell me I was wrong, and my whole life is a lie. Crazy story. I have to get more into that.
That's unbelievable.
I've told some people about that. It was crazy.
Had the whole packet printed out.
Seriously.
Drop it on the table.
Told them about it the night before, woke up, Dad had researched and printed a whole packet about why my fun fact was false. So, I mean, that's the level of parenting you need to protect your
100%.
children, right?
I respect it.
So, good on him, I guess. Anyways, I'm doing just fine.
Good.
Thanks for having me in the studio.
Of course, we
I
appreciate you
Always
coming
happy
in.
to be here. Busy week. Wish I was at Auburn, as we were just talking about, but we got the spring practice tomorrow, and, we want to have as many camera angles as possible of the guys because we really haven't had a chance to get video, which is important for what we do,
right.
Of the guys, tipping passes and playing defense and running routes because, it's been different rules and regulations with spring practice this year,
right.
which, not up to us, kind of just is what it is. And then after that, LSU, it feels like it's been a year or two since they played at the box, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I've been doing myself. I mean, I went to TWITTA to see them, which was cool, but it's felt like a long time since they've been back.
Did you use the porta john? Did you use the porta potty?
No, I didn't. That was hilarious, though. I saw that during the game, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, that area was behind the dugout, but in like a massive like hangout area.
Right.
Like, there's people cooking there and people hanging up against the fence and kids. So just imagine if you're Jared Jones, you're about to be on deck and you got to walk to a bathroom amongst fans. I'm sure people were like, oh, it's Jared Jones. Some of them may have even asked for his autograph.
Well, that's why he kept the helmet on.
Yeah.
He had to make sure if anybody threw any cans or anything.
Make no mistake about it. I do play here. Like, that's not a fan wearing just a full uniform.
Yeah.
Like, nope. Helmet
I've seen
on.
that before. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
If I saw that.
Well, and Jay was talking about he had to go to the, he was going back and forth. He's like, almost fell down. He's like, nobody even, noticed me. And I was like, well, it is Louisiana, and don't be surprised if you see somebody in a full uniform. But also the funniest thing in sports is the fact that the manager has to wear a baseball uniform, like a grown man, an adult.
Yeah.
And full uniform. So, to be out in the public, not that weird, actually.
Right.
If you see a baseball fan, I'll wear the pants.
Yeah.
Jared Jones, I'll wear the helmet.
Yeah, I'll wear the whole deal.
That's a wild picture. Yeah, that was just
shout out
hilarious.
to whoever took the picture. Had the wherewithal to pull
Kodak
the phone
moment.
out. Yeah. But on football, talking about, what you've seen, that I know spring practice hasn't been the most information that you can really
revealing.
Yes, most revealing at all. But what are some of the things that have stood out to you so far as spring football is coming to a close?
I don't know. I mean, it's just hard to make any determinations right now because there's a lot of question marks, there's a lot of open positions, but I haven't seen enough to tell you who I think is stealing positions or grabbing hold of positions based on what we've seen at spring practice. So I think Saturday is going to be really telling for that. But it's also difficult because, you think about last year, I feel like the past two spring games, there's been a lot of big plays and oohs and ahs from the offense, which is cool. You know, and it's your own offense, so you're fired up about that. But then you think about it, I was thinking about it on the drive here this morning, that should have been a sign of what was to come maybe with the defense again. There's images of the receivers playing duck, duck, goose in the end zone, Sage Ryan having a discussion with Brian Kelly after a big passing play happened. I feel like the spring game the past couple years has been more offensive oriented, they've dominated the day. So I'm curious to see, and again, it's not like a traditional game setting this weekend like it has been, but in some of these situations, the red zone, whatever it is, the defense wins some reps. They have done that at points in the spring based on what I've seen in the full practices we've gotten to stay for, and the one-on-ones and the 7-on-7 and the team-on-team scrimmaging. But I want to see them do more of that on Saturday. And I think the thing that I reflected on most after practice yesterday was at the positions like running back and cornerback. What do you do there? With running back, it's different this year. Josh Williams is gone, and last year it was kind of a Josh Williams and Caden Durham split in terms of carries and touches. How does that work this year? Is it all Caden Durham?
Right.
Does Caleb Jackson get some touches? Is he ready for that? Does Harlan Berry factor in a little bit as well? Because that's it. I mean, you don't really have another option. John Emery's not coming back. He's going to play somewhere else if he's playing at all next year. Sorry, Lloyd.
We don't know that yet. He has uncommitted in the portal.
Maybe. I mean, what's
week 2?
Shoot. He's a gamer. Like, he might join the team the week before the season opener and lead the team in rush for whatever reason. But I'm curious to see how they split the carries there. If Harlan Berry's ready to play physically. If Caleb Jackson has figured out whatever's been holding him back from having that breakout year we've all talked about, I feel like, for 2 years now. And then at corner, who takes the job? Like, I'm watching them go through their run support drills right in front of us with Corey Raymond yesterday, and there's Ashton Stamps and PJ Woodland and DJ Pickett. Who takes the 2 starting jobs there? You have 4 or 5 different people that could do it, but have people separated themselves, or is everybody kind of on the same level? Ideally, you have 2 guys that separate themselves and are elites amongst that group. So I think we'll find out a lot about that this weekend. And it's different situations, right? This isn't practice anymore. There's fans in the building. You're on the Tiger Stadium grass. It's a game scenario. Who buckles under pressure? Who's ready for that? You've had guys that have played big-time college football in those pressure-packed environments before. Obviously, Ashton and PJ have to an extent. But Mansour Delane and Jakeem Jackson from Florida.
Right.
Jackson or John?
Yes, Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know why Jakeem Johns, but from Florida. He's played in those big settings as well.
Get it together, Ryan.
Yeah, sorry. I'm one to talk. But yeah, those are kind of the 2 things I'm thinking about. Corner and safety and running back, kind of who stands out there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the positions we were talking about earlier in the show, and obviously DJ Chester met with the media yesterday. Center is a position, but really offensive line as a whole. You're losing 4 guys to the NFL draft. You bring in 2 transfers. Offensive line is a group that, from what I've seen from the practice videos, obviously, because I'm not able to get out there, it's right there in front of you guys, whether y'all are in the balcony or on the field. Offensive line is right there. Obviously you don't want to make too much of who's in the starting 5 in spring, because that should probably change by the time you get to fall camp. What are some of the things you've seen from the offensive line group?
I like them. I think they have a good mentality. Again, we haven't seen a ton. I think what really impressed me, and I've said this before, is how they played in the bowl game, because that wasn't the group that's leaving. That was a lot of the guys that are going to be playing for the team this year, and they moved that defensive line. They protected well, and the offense was very prolific on that day. But a guy like Weston Davis has really stood out to me. He's big, looks the part, as people like to say, but he's got this mean streak about him. You could just see it in his eyes and through his face mask when he's out there playing, man. He just wants to put a guy in the grass. So I like what I've seen from him. I think he's going to be a really good player for them at right tackle. And that's the mentality you've got to have. I don't know if the group last year lacked that. I don't think that's fair to say, because when you think of Will Campbell and Emory Jones and Garrett Dellinger and Miles Frazier, you think pure dog.
Right.
And this year's group has to have that as well. But I think it's going to be an excellent group, excellent pairing. It's just a matter of finding the best 5. So is DJ Chester going to be the center? Does he kick over to right guard? Does Braylon Moore take that center job? I think those are questions that all remain to be seen. We're really going to find out about that in fall camp, I think. Like, this has kind of been the acclimation period for a lot of those transfers. I've seen people asking and wondering why the transfers haven't grabbed more attention, maybe, and already landed those starting jobs. They're not going to do that in the spring,
right?
But it's going to take some time for them to do that if they're going to do it at all. So I think that the offensive line is going to look different now than it will in August when we were out there for fall camp and getting ready for the season opener. I think how it's eventually going to end up is Weston Davis, Tyree Adams, Paul Mubanga. I think Braylon Moore will secure that center job. And then I think you'll see DJ Chester at right guard.
Yeah.
Or if you want to put him at left and put Mubanga at right, you could do that as well. But I think that's how it's going to end up. You got some good depth there, though, because there's a lot of guys in the twos that, have college-ready ability, whether they're freshmen or they're guys that have played a little bit here and there. Bo Bordelon, Cohen Eccles, for example. So I like the offensive line. And Brian Kelly has spent a lot of time over there watching them with a notepad, jotting down notes.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Kyle Williams with the D-line, they're doing active one-on-one, high-intensity drills, 2-on-1s, whatever it is. So I think that he's getting the best out of that group. Brad Davis is trying to get the best out of his group, and now it's just about finding the best five, really.
Yeah. Lloyd?
One thing that we have not really talked about yet is, while we can't take too much from spring, one thing that can happen in spring is the portal window opens on the 16th. And so I would imagine that while we're having the conversation, we'll wait till fall camp, some of these guys are not going to wait until fall camp and might not be on the roster. Do you see that LSU going into the portal and adding, or do you see them maybe possibly losing some of these guys because you brought in a slew of transfer portal players, and now you see kind of the position battles trying to figure itself out before fall? But I do think there's a world in which you start seeing, and that's why there is no spring game, right? Like, you didn't want to give people the opportunity to look at your roster, and I just think it kind of snuck up on you where you have 5 days until that window opens, and LSU is either going to be a buyer, but when you buy, you also sell.
Right. Your tone of voice there threw me off for a second. It was so funny. It was like, one thing we're not thinking about is the
You get serious on you.
Yeah, I guess he does. It's like the one guy when you're planning something just in the corner of the room. Guys, one thing we're not thinking about is here.
I don't know if anybody
I think
thought about this.
The whole spring game tampering thing is so dumb, personally.
That's
Here's
just an
here's
excuse.
my 2 cents on it. If you're getting in the portal after the spring, it's because you can't play where you are.
Right.
Or
simple as that.
Or you feel like you've outplayed what your current status is, and it's a negotiating tactic. I mean, you saw it happen with, Sage Ryan did it. It was like in the portal, and this was last year. He got into the portal, and everybody's like, thought he was coming back for sure.
Yeah.
And then it became, back to LSU, and there's only really one parallel you can draw to that. It's like, I want more money. And he looked around. It's like, if you're going to play, I'm playing corner and safety. Sounds like I'm pretty needed around here. Why would I not leverage myself?
Well, yeah, for better or worse.
Right.
Needed out of necessity. No disrespect.
No, but he saw that
they
too.
They didn't have a better option last year.
Well, yeah, and if they all leading into the spring and then into the fall, it was like Sage Ryan's going to stick at safety, and then Brian Kelly, the first practice, like, we're cross-training him. He's like, okay, I see my value here. I'd like to see that value met.
Yeah, I guess, if you're transferring after the spring, though, it's usually, I think they're all worried about younger guys, the guys they recruited to be the future, leaving because they're ready to play now.
Right.
Haven't seen a lot of that, I don't think, in football, at least, because if you were ready to play then, like, your coaches would notice that, and
you'd be playing.
You wouldn't be in a position to want to be transferring. So I don't know. I just think this whole people are so paranoid these days, and you got Nico over at Tennessee doing contract negotiation. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, you're the starting quarterback. Y'all just went to the playoff over there.
Right. He's using the portal as a tactic
weapon
to try to get his money out.
I don't know where he would go now and start.
Right. Well,
Alabama.
If you just look at his recruitment from the beginning to now, it's been a
shit show,
a circus.
Whole thing's just dumb.
Yeah.
In my
Well,
opinion.
yeah, but as dumb as it is, it's where we are. Like,
it's
the world we live in.
Look at LSU last year; they were desperate for a defensive tackle, and this is when you get this is hired gun season.
Yeah.
This is the mercenary season when that spring window is guys that are, how much are you willing to pay for me to go over there? If you need a player, like if LSU is looking for a defensive lineman again this year, like you see, if they want to go get a legitimate starter.
I just don't know if there's any to get, and that's the thing about the spring portal. It's kind of the scraps. It's the bottom of the barrel, I mean, in some cases
it's the desperate part.
Exactly. Right. And I wouldn't say LSU's in that position. It'd be nice to go and get somebody. I just don't know that there's anybody out there that's worth paying to go get right now because, it's not a video game where you're like, 87 overall D tackle.
Right.
But this is real life. You got to learn the defense. You got to, get acclimated to the school and the coaching staff and how things are done. And I think it's just too late by that point. Like, we're in April, and now you're going to have the summer and the fall. But, that's the reason why you don't see a lot of high school guys that don't enroll early play early is because you need to get acclimated to the surroundings and in everything. It's not a video game. It's not this guy's this and he just whatever. This is real life, obviously. So to answer your question about the portal, I'm sure they'll take some hits, They have a lot of depth at a lot of different positions. I'm not really expecting anything big, though. Like, you might see some guys in the DN room potentially like to go somewhere else possibly because think about the names and the people they have in there.
Yeah.
Like a Dylan Carpenter, for example, out of Sanoma, who's been there a couple years. I don't know if he's going to see the field a lot this year. Like, guys kind of like that maybe you're seeing the writing on the wall a little bit. But with that said, he's not like a redshirt senior or anything. This isn't it for him this year. And you brought in a lot of guys that are kind of players for this year's team. There's still certainly snaps for him in the future. So I don't think they'll lose a lot. If they lose anybody, it won't be like super impactful guys. Like, they've lost a couple receivers the last few years that, have been pretty deep in the depth chart and probably wouldn't have seen the field a lot anyway. And as far as bringing guys in, I mean, you can. I just don't. It'd be depth pieces that you're adding, which might not be a bad thing because the portal adds they did leading into the spring were starter guys, like Jack Pyburn and Patrick Payton and names like that are dogs. It wouldn't be a bad thing to go get a couple depth pieces if they're available from different schools, guys with good practice tape that maybe have seen the field a little bit to shore up some numbers at like D tackle, for example. You really can never have enough of them. Maybe a specialist. I don't know if there's a good specialist in the portal you have an eye for. Possibly you can add him. I'm not expecting a lot, though. I think that they spent millions of dollars to solidify the team they currently have, and I think they're going to rock with what they got,
Yeah, it's just such a far cry from last year. Remember the conversations
my
about
gosh.
defensive tackle and, he wants $1 million. And
the
too rich for
Dominic
Bob Blood.
Williams or whatever.
Yeah, and the whole LSU, the whole fan base was like, good, don't pay him. And then you fast forward to what happened over the offseason, like, pay everybody. It's like, what y'all think was going to happen?
The price rises exponentially from the first window to the second window because of just
desperation.
The demand. Like, it's a lot cheaper to go get guys in that first window when there's so many people in the portal compared to the scraps and the few in the other window. People are more
goddamn
desperate for
tariffs.
position. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing with last year was that, they wanted to pay players, but they weren't going to pay somebody a bunch of money that didn't deserve it. So they must not have thought that the players that they were going after in the portal were worth the crazy asking prices they wanted.
And now I think LSU was in the opposite camp.
Exactly.
They will pay you.
Yeah.
If you had this mentality last year, you have two defensive tackles that aren't Suggs and Paez. You got those. And for better or worse, like, I don't even know what they did last year.
Yeah,
they went to Miami and Michigan.
There was a TCU to Miami. There was one that went to Auburn. I'm trying to figure out where the other ones went. There were
there was Walter Nolan who went from A&M to
See,
Miss.
like LSU now, if that happens, like, they would have been in the Walter Nolan sweepstakes.
Throwing
Probably, yeah. But I like all the additions they made. Like, these guys have all produced previously and were worth the money to me. So they just must not have. Maybe last year they were caught in between. Like, some guys wanted way too much, and some other guys wanted a lot, but they weren't good enough. Like, the guys that wanted a lot of money were good enough for that money, and then there were guys that saw the market value, kind of like the NFL, that weren't worth that money, and they weren't willing to spend it. And last year they didn't have the NIL and whatever else backing that they seem to do now, which is something to keep in mind as well. But it's kind of like the NFL. You see a receiver get this much money, and then a guy that puts up decent numbers wants the same because that's kind of the new market, and I guess that's creeping down into college, just like that Nico situation we were just talking about a little bit.
Last one on the football side, you brought up specialists, and special teams is obviously something that's been talked about, and we were talking about it before you came in. Been talked about a lot over the last 3 seasons, really Brian Kelly's entire tenure, because, I mean, the first game, you look back to Florida State year 1, you have the muffed kickoffs and punts and blocked field goal and extra point. That's something that has moved in the right direction in some spots where you have guys like Xavion Thomas and Berrien Brown and Aaron Anderson and then and Aaron Burrell with the kickoffs. And you have Damian Ramos, who's been a sure thing inside a certain range. When he extends a little bit more, it's a little less sure. But then like the punting group and those things, what have you seen? And I don't know how much they've shown you at practice, but what have you seen at practice? What are your expectations kind of moving forward on those groups?
I expect Damian Ramos to be right in the Heisman Trophy conversation.
Yeah. I mean,
usage rate.
Before we even really get into how bad does it have to be for this to be a storyline really going into the season almost every year?
Year 4.
This being a problem.
I don't think it was terrible last year. Obviously, you had the A&M game and the Florida game where the operation failed.
Yes.
Kind of sounds like you're downloading something off
Sounds
the
like he
internet.
works for Boeing.
Yeah. That's how it is, though. I mean, it's operation time, whatever it is. Their terminology.
Glutes weren't activated.
Yeah. It's been an issue, and I don't think it's ever going to be perfect, but I feel like there's a lot of programs out there that have had really good special teams, and people kind of, to a certain degree, take it for granted after a while.
Right.
Just how seamlessly the punting operation goes with no shanks and no bad snaps and no blocks. The field goal units, converting at a high clip. And that's the ultimate equalizer in some cases, like turnovers and special teams. That is how you win, lose, change games as they're going, if you're in a bad spot, a good spot, whatever it is. So I think last year, for the most part, the return games were great.
Right.
I thought the field goal kicking was average to slightly above average. It's the punting, though, to me, that needs to get better. I think the actual snapping part has been fine, but it's just been the distance and the hang time and
consistency,
the ability to flip the field position.
Yeah.
They need to find somebody there. They brought in Blake Oschendorf last year, who I think was okay, but I don't think met the expectation. And what's the kid's name? Grant Chadwick. Yeah, they got him in this year. Peyton Todd's still there. Haven't seen enough punts to – I mean, and even if we were there and we were watching the punts, it's practice, it's whatever. Right. It's difficult to even kind of tell what's going on. But I think that's the area that they need the most improvement this year, is just the ability to grab a couple extra yards with better punts,
flip the
zero
field,
shanks, good coverage, all of that. Because the kick return, the punt return, those are excellent. I expect Ramos to be, him, which is pretty reliable. Make the PATs, obviously, and then whatever you can do from a field goal standpoint, great. So I think that's the area where they need to get better the most, is actually in the punting.
Yeah. To flip it to baseball now, going into tonight, obviously they've been on the road. This will be game 5, 6, and 7 in a row on the road, like you said when we first opened up. Mindset-wise on this team, the mindset of this group and Jay Johnson, something we've talked about a lot throughout the season, and this is one of those stretches where that'll be tested because you're on the road again. You go from Norman to Thibodeau with the porta potties, and then now you're headed to Auburn to play those 3 games. What are you looking to see tonight in game 1 and the 5th game on the road for LSU?
I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really fun game to watch. Sam Dutton has gotten so much better last year to this year. I was looking at his numbers this morning, and I was in Chapel Hill last year when he started that last game, and he didn't even get a single out. He didn't get a single out in his last start with LSU in that game they ended up losing to North Carolina when Will Helmers just went absolutely off. The jump that he's made is just insane. Like, he goes from occasional starter, more so a bullpen guy that could only really get you through 1 or 2 innings, if that, to a guy that's throwing 5, 6, even complete games. In the case last week, 7-inning complete game, that is, against Alabama. But he's been their ace, and it's crazy that he was on the staff last year. But I think that he's just improved so much. Like, if he was pitching on that level last year, there's no way that he would have had the role that he's had, that he did have with LSU.
Right.
But in 2 SEC starts, he's 2-0, 1.29 ERA, I believe. So it's not like he's just beat up on a bunch of, lower level teams, which he has before that, like Holy Cross and Ohio State, teams like that. Not that Ohio State's, lower level, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm excited to see.
I don't think their NIL is going to baseball.
No, definitely not. It's going to
$20 million offense.
Yeah, it's going to Ole Miss running backs for whatever reason decided to transfer there. But
hey,
anyways,
national championship.
Yep.
Lost to Michigan though. Hey. But I'm excited to see that. Cade Anderson against Sam Dutton, pitcher's duel. I think it's one that LSU can win in the end. The thing that Dutton does really well is he doesn't walk anybody. He's got like 50-some-odd strikeouts to 10 or so walks. So for LSU to score on them in this game, they're going to have to induce contact. What they like to do typically is start a couple innings with a walk or two to get guys on base, and then they do some damage. They're going to have to kind of create that off the bat in this game. So I think the mindset's there, the mentality, all the makeup stuff is there. They kind of got off to a sluggish start against Nichols out in Thibodeau, but Jay Johnson said after the game they were kind of 1 or 2 at-bats away at different points from really blowing that game open, which I believe.
Yeah.
I agree with him on that. So I'm curious to see how they go at this one. It could be a pitcher's duel. It could also be a game where, I feel like there's a big advantage here. You talk about Chris Stanfield and Auburn maybe having an advantage on him with his hitting. I think it's more so like that with LSU in the pitching because Jay's seen the film. He's probably figured out what Sam's improved on stuff-wise, location-wise, command-wise, whatever. But Nate Yeske was his pitching coach. Like, he knows Sam Dutton in and out. He knows everything about the guy. He knows what time he wakes up, probably what time he goes to bed. So I think that's really going to help LSU in this game with tendencies and things like that. So it should be fun to watch. And I think overall, collectively with the series, another Sunday TBA guy's a good-looking guy over there for Auburn on Sunday.
Hey, TBA was your Sunday starter here last year.
Ryan Eads.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is crazy.
He's everywhere. I didn't know he transferred, but
he bring it back.
NIL, but I think on Saturday they've really got the advantage because their starter, Cade Fisher, transferred from Florida. He spent 2 years there. High walk guy, has struggled to get through more than 3 or 4 innings, and I think LSU will certainly take advantage of that. So I'm pretty confident in this team this weekend that they can certainly take 2 out of 3. I don't see why they can't sweep. I think they've got the pitching advantage. Auburn's got a little bit of juice on offense, but, LSU's got more juice.
Yes.
So.
It's a faux pas to predict sweeps around LSU country, even though everybody expects one. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like, you looked at Oklahoma last week, and you see top 10 team in the country. Then you kind of look at the numbers and what they're doing. Like, definitely have an ace. And it's like if you get over that hill, like there's no reason LSU shouldn't sweep. But LSU's been playing in highly close baseball games, and in those close baseball games they find ways to win. And it's not even the fact that I think the way that they win close baseball games is they don't make mistakes.
Right.
Like you see Oklahoma double play ball, the first baseman's running off the field. And it's like that doesn't happen at LSU. Like they're the defense that they play, like everybody is very situationally aware. They take good at bats, and it just at some point the water builds up and the dam breaks, and then you get the 5-run inning, the 7-run inning, and then you look up, you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like this was a 2-1 baseball game, and you look up and LSU's up 10-2. And that's how they kind of break open these like Saturday games. And the 1-run games, it feels like you have on the back end of your bullpen, when it comes down to it, you have 2 guys that you pretty much feel like they can shut the door if they need to. And that's why it's not crazy to predict a sweep, because they can do it offensively. And then you have at least the first 2, you know who you have in Zach Cowan, and then you know who you have in Kason Evans, and you know who you have in your Cade Anderson and your Anthony Ianson, who is finally people are coming around. Once the numbers came out, like, oh, he might be gifted. 31 on the reading, 34 in math, 32 in science. It's like, oh, he's smart. Like, yeah. He's good at baseball.
Yeah.
And they were just looking at him like, transfer came in. It's like, he's not Cade Anderson. Like, well, kind of. Pretty close.
The numbers look similar.
Yeah, so
that's how it was last year. Like Gage Jump wasn't Gage Jump until April.
Right.
Late April, May.
Then you talked about Chapel Hill. Then it became your most trusted arm. Like, I'll put him in to try to win a baseball game. If I have one guy to throw, it was Gage Jump.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part of this scenario is you're starting to see Chase Shores get better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I think this could be one of those weekends where you see him extended.
I hope so. I think there's still more levels that he can reach.
Absolutely.
Jay's saying he's getting better. He's taking those steps. Have definitely seen that, but I think there's still more that he can get to. So perhaps he takes a step in that this weekend. But beyond that, on paper, road things aside, non-related things to baseball aside, I think this team has what it takes to sweep, take 2 out of 3. But I'm curious to see how they go about the pitching. Probably on Sunday, I would say, is the most likely scenario. Who comes out of the bullpen? Which guys have taken steps? Who can go in there and throw strikes, get outs instead of walking dudes? Because they need to find more options. They're not going to throw 5 pitchers every weekend.
Yeah.
Like, hate to break it to you, but Kate Anderson's not going to CG every single week and save you a couple arms. So,
135, you go 9 innings, shutout ball. Easy.
He's certainly capable, but,
well, yeah.
Every weekend, let's do it.
But that is the one remaining question mark, it feels like. Because you didn't get a question, you didn't answer that question last week because you didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you have to circle back using the test analogy, and that question's still there. You got to finish the test. And I do think if there is one thing that the fans are looking at, it's, all right, who's going to come out the pen? And if you get into that situation that you've seen against Texas where it's, if you don't have a Case and Evans available, you don't have Zach Cowan available, and you look to, on Sunday, you would look to Guidry. I mean, not Guidry, excuse me. God, not available. Schmidt.
He doesn't exist.
Yes, he's a figment. But if you have a Schmidt who threw on the midweek, he threw 50 or 61 pitches? 60. Yeah, so he could come back on Sunday, but if he does what has happened against the Texas where he comes in and doesn't get anybody out, then you go down it starts going down the list of, and then
the snowball.
Right. And
snowballs.
Then you're trying to find, is it Jaden Newt? Is it DJ Primo? Is it
Mavrizzi,
Cooper Williams, Connor Ware, Benj?
Nobody's really stepped up.
Right. And then it feels like when this happens in tight baseball games, they don't have a very long leash, and that's why you see all of them. It's like somebody come in and get fucking out. And that's why it's this carousel. And I think he's trying to find somebody that can do it, and that's why you see somebody who's somebody do it, you'll have the job.
Mm-hmm.
Just prove to me that you could do it. I'm waiting for Connor Ware to step up and be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's another, kind of forgotten about because of
a little bit
high expectations coming in, and you've seen him sputter a little bit, but I think he still has the juice to be able to be that. If it's not Schmidt, which that would be a pie in the sky, that's the perfect scenario to have 3 guys you can piggyback that are pseudo starters off your starters.
I think they do need a lefty, though. I asked Case and Evans on Wednesday.
If he can throw left-handed?
No. not also if he looks like Tony Vitello. Mm-hmm. Which is wild. But how important it is to find that left-handed arm out of the bullpen, because they really don't have. I mean, it's Kate Anderson's only reliable lefty they've got right now, and you're going to want that versatility as you get deeper into the season. So Jay said after the Nichols game that Connor Ware is going to be an important part of the weekend. He said that before about some guys, and it hasn't come to fruition, but he's also said it, and it has, like DJ Primo, for example. So I don't think we're going to see Connor Ware make 2 different appearances unless it's, on Friday they get out to a 7-1 lead and they want to save, Cowan for whatever.
Right. And that is also, when you talk about, Kate Anderson isn't going to go CG every time. That's also the alternate reality is you put up a 10 spot and then you can save a Cowan. You can save, that's the other version of how LSU can win, because at this point, you're trying to save those 2 guys to where you absolutely have to use them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of like how they have it, though, where it's 2-2, and then Sunday you figure it out. You score 17 runs, you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
But, you still want to have – you're not going to score 17 runs every Sunday. So you want to get better pitching. So Connor Ware's a name I think to look for. He will be available this weekend. He only threw 37 pitches, what he did on Tuesday there. Schmidt could be available on Sunday. Benj threw a half an inning or so. Mm-hmm. Or half, that's not a thing. Third or 2/3, whatever it was. He was in there for a little while. So they'll have a lot of guys available, but I'm curious to see who's going to stand out. You think about the Texas game where they had some issues.
Right.
They used 4 or 5 different guys, and nobody could do it, So who's going to be the one guy that can go in there and execute in an SEC environment against an SEC opponent? It's one thing to do it against Nichols, no disrespect, but the situation, the caliber of play is different. Who can do it on the weekend now? That's the question they need to answer in the last couple weeks of the season here, last couple months.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a big series this weekend. What do you expect the feeling to be around? You talk about the familiar faces, Stanfield being back in that park. Are you concerned at all? I know you touched on it a little bit, but you were more talking about LSU versus Dutton. Are you concerned at all about them being ultra locked in on LSU not being able to turn the lineup over with that 9 spot? Or are you more comfortable with Stanfield going back in the place he's been before?
I think they'll be fine because the guy's pitching to him. Like Dutton's, I mean, maybe he pitched against him when he was at Auburn.
Right.
But I don't think they
Not
know
teammates.
a whole lot about him. Like it's not like they grew up together and they're best friends. And the same with the Saturday pitcher. He transferred in from Florida, so maybe he's seen him before. But, it kind of just, like you see other guys in the SEC like once or twice a year, you know what I mean? So I'm not that concerned. And I do want to say about Chris Stanfield, like he came here to get better at offense, and he has. Like if you look at his numbers, he mentioned this in his media availability earlier this week. The staff has been patient with him, super helpful. He started the season at leadoff. I thought he was pretty good there. Obviously, Derek Curiel has been better, and that was the spot that was tailor-made for him. Stanfield has moved back to the 9 spot, and he's never moved. He's done such a great job there. And, you think about who the 9 hitter was on last year's team. It was probably Alex Milazzo most days or whoever was catching, and he was a great defensive catcher, and the belief is kind of whatever you can get on the offensive side is an extra. So, typically the 9 spot hitter is not your strongest guy, but I've said this before. I think Chris is kind of an extension of the top of the order. You know, like he's kind of the leadoff for the leadoff, you know what I mean? Because he's consistently getting on base, and he's done an excellent job, changing his swing mechanics, his mentality, whatever it is. He had a big 2 RBI knock against Nichols on Tuesday. Those were the 2 runs that won the game right there on that hit. He's gotten on base via the walk quite a bit as well. I think the strikeout number, if you look, is getting a little bit high. Like he is just over 100 at-bats, and he had, I think, like 160 or so last season, and the strikeout numbers are kind of getting close to what he did last year. So maybe that's something he'll look to improve on is kind of keeping that number down a little bit. But for a 9-hole hitter, he's done an excellent job, and I have no concerns about him this weekend. Auburn might know a little bit about him, but I think the advantage is more so on LSU's side with Dutton because I think they're going to see a completely different player in Chris Stanfield mentality-wise and what he's doing at the plate.
Yeah. So. No, I agree with you. So we appreciate your time this morning. Great stuff as always.
Thank you.
And obviously enjoy yourself at the spring game, open scrimmage, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow morning.
You guys going?
I think I will be there. I'm not going to be on the sideline because my credentials are going to the more talented video and picture guys. But I should be in attendance.
Awesome.
Masters.
This is Lloyd's golf weekend.
Yes.
Enough said.
Like
Ethan Fry, you don't need to explain it to me.
Yeah. That's great.
I just hope that LSU puts some balls in the Yeti yard.
Oh, God. Yeah. The Yeti yard.
Yep.
God.
Find a way.
If I had one, no, I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
What were you going to say? No, you might as well say it.
No.
He'll say it during the break.
Yeah, absolutely.
The second that commercial runs.
We better get, I better call my brother here, though. I haven't talked to him in years.
Yeah, see what Ryan's up to.
Yeah.
Last time I saw Ryan Eads, where was he playing? Toronto?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Somebody in the chat said they were neighbors. Where's it at?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who dat fam? Ryan Eads lives by my house in Slidell, Louisiana. Shout out.
Oh, he played for the Twins and the Orioles.
The Twins, like him and John.
That's
Ryan
right.
And John, the Twins.
Twin killing.
Hey, Luke Holman, Christian Little, Griffin Herring, those guys have been pitching a little bit in single A and stuff.
Ty Floyd get some run.
So,
legend.
Those guys are doing well, it seems like. So,
yeah, Dylan Cruz, I think he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I did see the video of the swing mechanics though. The change.
What is he talking about? He's holding it. Whatever these people, it's like people that fucking take weightlifting too seriously. Like you're.
I hate those guys.
Like it's you have to. Whatever, like I don't need Latin when we're talking about baseball, or it's a biceps curl. We're gonna be fine. Like, you have to pronate, and it's like, no, he's supinating. Like, so I can turn his hand one way or the other.
Scapular depression.
Yeah,
make sure your shoulders are down and back and down.
Just release the barrel.
Release the barrel.
That's all you got to do.
God,
give him a torpedo bat. That might help.
Yeah, you get hit with a toothpick. That man's gonna be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
And Nationals fans, y'all better be careful. You've already run one person out of town. Like, be wary.
Yeah, don't play that game.
Cruz looks phenomenal in the uniform. It looks like it's painted on him. Like it's a perfect color grade for him. Oof.
Yeah, he looks outstanding.
And he's 3. Speaking of, if you
Yeah.
want your GOAT 3 T-shirt,
Somebody, who
obviousshirts.com.
was in the chat? Who snagged the shirt? Somebody said they went on
Oh,
the
Hunter
website
Hall
and they
did
got
a Roback
Did he?
discount.
Awesome.
Pet that dog.
Yeah,
Pet that dog.
20% off. Really cuts into the price for sure.
It does. I think it knocked off like $40.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to
That's
do.
what it's all about. God,
No
somebody
discount for obvious shirts yet.
Somebody said something about their. I'm trying to remember who it was that already went and bought something.
Hell yeah.
But somebody already hit the obviousshirts.com.
Merch gang.
Merch gang. Are
You
you
guys
about to
got
pull
to
it
make
up?
a college stud shirt for Curiel.
Oh,
We do
yeah.
use that one. That's a good one.
We have one more year.
One more year of the what's the DC?
DC.
Dangerous game.
Pretty crazy, man.
Dangerous game. Yeah, but we appreciate your time again this morning. Lloyd, are you pulling the
I am.
the shirt skis up right now? Some of the merch.
This is Dylan Cruz, obviously.
Of course.
Oh, nice.
Or Jared Mitchell. Whatever
Jared Mitchell.
tickles your fancy.
Trying to think who else the 3 GOAT could be.
Chad Jones.
Hal Hughes.
Yes, that's who it's for. What's Hal short for?
I don't know. Let me see.
I think Hal is on staff.
Is he?
Yeah,
Awesome.
hell yeah.
I loved Hal Hughes.
Me too.
He's obviously stuck in my brain up to this point.
Isn't DJ Pickett number 3?
DJ Pickett is
DJ
number 3.
Pickett's number 3.
Pre-order.
Chris Hilton.
Odell Beckham.
Yep.
A lot of good threes out there.
There are.
Hal Hughes is my brother's favorite player.
He is stuck in my brain all these years. I've never been able to forget him.
Good.
Stud.
Hey, do your job. HalHughes.com. You need me to
Made
pitch
it
run?
happen.
I can do it. You need me to lay down a bunt? I can do it. You need me to play second base? I can do it.
Made
Need
it
me to hit a
happen.
home run? Maybe.
Yeah. Stretch.
I'll try.
I'll give it my best effort.
But here are a couple of the shirts that we have available on obviousshirts.com. All proceeds go to me. So it's like a Make-A-Wish, but better.
Oh, my God.
Pin Goblins.
Pin Goblins. Which
is not our idea. We did not come up with
No, this is
name.
the baseball team that
This
came
is the
up with it.
baseball team.
And we need to see the Pin Goblins get to Goblin.
Yeah,
you gotta make a
time out.
That's
double
outs.
thumbs up.
You definitely regretted the way you worded that after you said it.
Get a
I didn't.
thumbs up shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. What's your nickname? Danny Hustle?
Danny Hustle.
I just don't know if that's going to stick, brother.
That's your nickname?
No, that's what
No.
he wants to call
Danny
Daniel
Dickinson?
Because he got 14
it's-
for Pete Rose, Charlie
but
Hustle,
it's
Danny
so-
Hustle. But
it's
it's
so
the fan
difficult.
base. Look, I get it. I mean, I'm as crass as anybody here. Danny Dick is fun to say. It's the easiest thing. This is the school that it made neck a thing, and then they
Right.
turned it into something else.
Yes.
And that stuck. So I'm not going to be here and be like, don't chant that. You don't think I say it? The top of my lungs.
Oh, my God.
We know you do.
It's going to be put on my tombstone.
There you go.
I say Danny Dimes. I don't know why. It's
Danny
not football,
Dimes?
but-
Oh, no, we
That's
don't want that.
what is
That's
that,
bad.
Daniel
Because
Jones?
Daniel Jones
No.
doesn't deserve it. He doesn't throw dimes.
No.
What was his other one? Vanilla Vic?
Yeah, God.
He's got enough aura and swag, I think, already. He doesn't even need a nickname. You know, he's
No.
the earring and the
earring,
tattoos,
yeah.
That was the other one we're
tattoos.
going to do.
The
Was
shirt
like the
idea.
silhouette of like his face with the earring
Yeah.
and the eye black.
Yep. Fire.
And then I guess you'd put Danny Dick on the back.
Why not?
Why
I
not?
mean, you don't have to put Danny.
Dick.
Just right there.
I mean, if I would like that too. If I were him, I'd be like, this is awesome.
This is cool.
Like Big Dick Joe. Like, yeah, I'm going to wear that hat.
Oh, my gosh.
Give me that.
Well, so we got some more nicknames popping in the chat.
Oh, Lord. Okay, Vegas, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think that one doesn't
I don't
really
like
fit.
Danny Dick, too vulgar. What about?
Are the links for merch? I'll get the link put in the chat right now. Obvious shirts.
And yeah, this is the Baton Rouge collection. I can drop it in here real fast.
See if I can beat you.
Nope.
Be good to grab because we got some great home series coming
we
up,
did at
man.
the same time.
Bama,
Yeah.
and Tennessee.
No,
Yeah.
not even close to that. I
At the
beat
same
you.
time. Now look at them. They're right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jordy Culotta too. Ha!
If there's two, do you have any? In death, his name was Robert Paulson. Fight Club.
I know it. But we appreciate your time, obviously, this morning. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be right back. I guess let's do the athletic
do you wanna do
connection with John
athletic
here.
yeah.
Have you seen us do the,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
this
so
is-
bad at connections,
Really?
bro.
No, the real connections is not fun.
The real
This is what
connections.
it's-
We'll do both of them.
Yeah, this is like
I tell you
This
what,
is made for us.
We set the record yesterday on the connection.
45
I don't know
seconds?
what it
Sports
was.
or-
Yeah, the sports
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
We rolled through. I don't know what got into us, but
We threatened ourselves that we
We
were
did.
going to time it. We're not timing it again because it's more fun.
yeah, why would we time it?
Legends in our own mind.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
I always start it, and I'm like, I can't figure it out. And
No,
I'm like,
have
I'm
you
going to
done
come
this-
back to it.
Have you done the sports one?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, the sports
okay.
ones. I mean, the people
If you
made
can't
it
do
sound like
this,
it was much more difficult.
Yeah, you're thick.
I should get fired if I can't
Yeah.
do this, honestly. Hopefully Shock's not listening.
All right.
Hold on.
Let's see.
Here we go. All right.
So I mean, I think we've got hockey teams.
Oilers, Panthers.
I'm seeing
Hurricanes.
Winnipeg Jets. No, you bitch!
Are one of these logos a hockey team?
Yeah, that's the
No, these
that's
are two.
the Calgary Flames.
This is the San Jose Sharks.
And then the Oilers. But that's not a hockey team, is it?
Yeah,
It is?
Edmonton. Yep.
And then the Panthers.
We may have
Florida Panthers.
Yeah, they have the Florida Panthers.
But
They
they
have the
also have
Carolina
Hurricanes.
Panthers.
They have the
They have the
Carolina
Pittsburgh
Hurricanes.
Panthers.
I see freshman, rookie, prospect, and recruit.
Yeah, there we
probably
go.
Together.
That's good. That's good.
Bryce Underwood.
NIL.
Let's see.
All right,
ACC, Hurricanes, Virginia Tech, Louisville.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And then
Panthers.
Who are the Panthers?
Well,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yep. And then Louisville.
Where was the other one?
The Louisville logo.
Wait.
Yeah. What? What are you thinking?
No, I was thinking like ACC something because of the Vatech, Louisville, and Miami Hurricanes. But I think I'm thinking too much.
No, this is ACC, right? Or what are you thinking?
I was thinking ACC. Who's the Panthers? Pittsburgh? Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Good.
that might be it.
Yeah. There we go.
There you
ACC.
go. Awesome.
And then
How about Ricky Collins, by the way?
Yeah.
Cuse.
Yes.
I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, me too.
I think it'll be good.
It was one of those commits that obviously dream school, and then you're like, I don't know if he's ever going to get a real shot.
Glimmer says it's Oilers, Panthers, and then the 2C logos.
We're out of Panthers.
It's
No Panthers.
Jets, Oilers, Calgary, and
There we go.
the other logo up there. Those are the hockey teams.
There we go, and that should be it. I wonder what this last one is. Cons,
Boys.
Ions,
boys,
O's.
boys.
The longest yard. I don't know.
The last four letters. Oh,
Wait, what?
The Cowboys.
I don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
The Browns.
I didn't see an
Falcons.
ERS for the Commanders.
What are the Ions?
The Ion. What would that?
Oh, that
be?
was an L. So Falcons.
No, because
No,
Falcons
it'd be
would
Cons.
be CONS. That is one. What would the Ions be?
IONS? Lions.
Yeah. Lions.
Yeah.
There you go. Michigan.
Yeah. I'm about to hit him with a Weddle.
Oh, Weddle. Weddle is good.
Because I think he'd be good at this.
I played that back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No,
The
you don't.
Weddle.
Back when Ryan and I lived
What's
together.
the perfect square game?
Oh, the Immaculate Grid.
Yeah, this is hard.
That I've never played.
Yeah, this is not my strong suit.
Should we do a, do you want to do a football one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of baseball growing up.
Me neither.
I did.
Lloyd watched everything growing up.
They wouldn't let me outside. These four walls. Everything's in
escape
bed.
Lord have mercy. What is a? I don't know what that is, Bigus. A Quordle?
Oh, I've played that before.
What
It's
is
4 Wordles in one.
Okay,
At
wow.
the same time.
That's
yeah.
out.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean,
It's a lot.
Oh,
Galaxy brain.
I wonder who the Patriots and Buccaneers could be.
We're not going to do that one.
Rob Gronkowski.
It could be.
So explain this to me, because I haven't.
So you want to match a player that fits the top and the.
He played
the
for
side.
both. He played for the Chargers and the
And
Patriots. He
And
played
then
for
the
the Bucks
Chargers
and
and 5,000 receiving yards in his career. And you want it to kind of be as
obscure.
Yes, like as rare as possible. Like other people aren't going to guess this guy.
Wow.
We made Wilson play. What was it?
Wordle. He definitely was caught off guard.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was the first time we had Wilson back on when it was just me and Lloyd, like without Jordy here. And we finished the interview and we were like, Oh, you ever heard of Wordle? And he was like, no.
Yes.
Are you
no,
serious?
he knew what it was.
But he had never done it.
Oh.
And he was not very, like, he was put on the spot. I don't think he really liked it that much. So, like, whenever I reached out to him last week, he couldn't come on. But I messaged him, and I was like, I promise you we're not going to do it.
Oh,
I'm not going to make you Wordle this
then
time.
we definitely are.
We definitely would have. But
That's wild.
He's definitely thrown off guard.
It's a New York Times thing, and he works for the.
Yeah, he felt exposed. He felt very vulnerable.
It's a tough spot to be. You're expecting the print journalist to be able to throw words out at you.
Yeah, tell a joke, funny guy.
He's like, make me laugh now.
Yeah.
Let's see. So,
all right,
Patriots and Chargers.
I wish I knew offensive linemen.
Well, the receiving yards might be a good place to start.
Yeah.
I feel like Mike Evans is 5K.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That might be a
not there.
mainstream pick,
Not there.
What?
It's Buccaneers.
I forgot. I thought it. Yep.
Got your back.
Michael Clayton. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Phil.
Hey, guys.
Michael Clayton. You want the Mike Evans from 1968?
No, let's go with the 92.
Yeah, just the one season. He had 5,000
Hey.
yards that 1 year.
That would be awesome.
Unbelievable.
Heck of a year, 92.
Yeah, that's when I was born.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Oh.
I don't know what else happened in 92.
OG. I have no idea what else happened in 92. I wasn't alive.
Oh.
Zach Ertz, they want to do Zach Ertz for the Commanders.
So the idea is to
5K
make it
yards.
as. So we got 47% because it wasn't very obscure.
Yeah, you want it to be as low as possible.
We should have done.
Ooh, Sabrion, I like that. Sabrion did.
What you got?
I got a really good one for the Commanders and Falcons. Kirk Cousins.
He beat.
Trying to think of.
He was there for like one season.
Yeah, wait, no, he doubled up, but he double dipped with the Commanders. Remember they tried to put him on the franchise tagged him twice in 2 years, and they called him Kirk. They called him Kurt instead of Kirk.
You like that was in the Commander's uniform.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You like that.
Damn, only
27%.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Oh, you want a lower percentage?
Yeah,
Okay.
Like if you want 100%, you can do Tom Brady for Patriots.
J.C. Jackson from Sabrion.
For
Patriots Chargers.
Yeah.
The corner.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think of an LSU player.
Oh.
Yeah, 13%. Excellent. Rodney Harrison. Did he play for the Chargers? Oh, early. Central One State in 92.
Baseball, yeah. They went on a run.
Keenan McCardell would have been a good one. Oh, LT. Thank you for Googling it, because I was gonna put that in. Antonio Gates probably had 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen probably.
Keenan
had
Allen,
5,000.
yeah, I would hope.
I'm trying to think who would be an obscure, like who ended up on the Chargers for like a year.
Oh, yeah, I forget that you can do it that way.
Like who just dropped in on the Chargers one time.
To try to, Jacob Hester.
Yeah, definitely didn't get 5,000 receiving yards.
Could have.
Darren Sproles. Definitely did. He wouldn't have got 5,000 receiving yards. But he definitely has a high number, but it's not going to be 5K.
Michael Turner.
He still plays for LSU.
Yeah, the cornerback for LSU.
No, the running back for the Falcons.
Pierre Garçon.
And his Hennessy.
Who else would be a Commanders? Santana Moss.
Another good one.
Madden monster.
Oh my God, God. He was slippery.
I don't know if Pierre would have got 5K receiving yards though.
Did Santana get 5? I would 5. I mean, 5,000 is a lot. See,
I bet he did.
Is it though?
1,000 per year for 5 years.
Yeah.
Play 16 games. You know.
Oh, Chargers Falcons Dwight Freeney, great one.
That was a good one.
Culotta.
Forgot he went to the Falcons.
4%.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that? Who had that?
Fonz.
Really
Shout out Fonz.
Dirty dog. Oh, Rashae Caldwell. That's the from?
Don't got it.
Florida.
Biggest looked up Sproles. It's 4,840. 160.
Close.
Oh, he has more than LT.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because he got. I mean, that was Drew's.
Yeah, I mean, he had
right hand man. He got so livid, and so did Phillip Rivers. Both went to the front office after they got rid of Sproles. Like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
From
Darren Sproles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot.
Should have won the Heisman.
Yes.
2003.
I'm watching it in my head right now.
Played for an old man.
Oh, how can I not? You're going to have to tell me.
What if I just think it right at you, and you think at the same time, and then 3, 2, 1, we're going to say something?
No, I don't have it.
Oh, I really thought it was going to work.
Yeah, I wish.
I don't know where he went either. No, Kansas State.
Yeah. God, I knew it because of what Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
They showed all the clips back.
He was cold.
Kill me.
Falcons
Work done.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Oh, yeah.
For Falcons in Tampa Bay.
From?
Catholic Eye.
Good pull. What was that 39?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's
all right.
No, that's
he was pretty popular.
It is lower than I expected. I thought that was going to be a more common one, but I guess that's just because I'm from Louisiana.
Did Albert Hainsworth play for the Patriots?
Ask Rock.
Yeah. Dude, why do people use that? Every tweet.
You ever looked yourself up?
No. Ask Gronk explain this to me, and it's like, he doesn't fucking know.
Or she.
Or she. Gronk.
Or it.
Or, yeah.
Them.
Yep.
Keenan Allen definitely has 5K.
Definitely has 5, and so does Antonio Gates.
That's gonna be
we're trying to get obscure here,
Yeah,
boys.
we're trying to get crazy.
Gates would be more obscure than Keenan, I feel like.
Who just made it? Like, I'm trying to think of players that just made a pit stop. Like, who are some of your wide receivers that traveled the world?
Or that wanted to go ring chase with, or like the Chargers, like we need him.
Brandon Cooks probably was there. I'm just kidding.
I don't think he ever went to the Chargers.
Antonio Brown.
Guy's been everywhere.
No, Antonio never did.
Who was Phillip Rivers' like?
Antonio Gates.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah.
Joey Galloway, yes.
Ooh, what's his name for?
I've been wanting to use him anyway.
There you go.
Vincent. Why can I not think of?
Oh, he's
Vincent Jackson.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, Vincent
We're
Jackson.
using Vincent Jackson. Let's go. 0.9.
He doesn't even have a headshot.
Oh, that was in my brain too. Let's go. And let's go, Vincent Jackson. Let's get these numbers down, boys. 10%. Pretty good.
Wow.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
Good poll.
It's not bad.
Santana? You think he had 5K?
God, I want to do Pierre Garçon so bad, but I don't think he had 5K.
Mike Williams.
Who else stopped with Commanders? I mean, Ertz should have 5K, but he is on the Commanders right now, so people are probably thinking of him.
Is that like a... Should we do Santana?
Do Santana.
I don't like that they don't give you one
Yeah,
freebie.
they don't give you a one freebie. You can't screw up at all.
Deion Sanders?
No. Never played for the Commanders.
He did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, never the Commanders. But
who do you play for?
I'm not saying their canceled name.
Scans.
Chill out.
Yes!
14.
Yeah.
Nice.
There we
Love
go.
Santana Moss.
Now I'm checking. I'm checking if Pierre Garçon
yeah.
had. Because. Let's see his stats.
Yeah, but Santana Moss is more fun to remember.
Yes.
Pierre
But
Garçon.
let's see what a Pierre Garçon have. Oh, he did. He had 7,000 career yards.
How many did it?
Probably would have been close to 14.
Antonio Gibson, the first name that pops in my head.
That's a good one.
Patriots, Commanders.
Yeah. Did Deshaun Jackson play for the?
He may have.
For the Commanders, yeah. And for the Buccaneers.
Which one do you want? Antonio Gibson?
He didn't play for the Patriots. He had to do Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Deshaun never played for the Pats.
This is
Rare to score 172.
What's the highest you can
good?
get? I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't ever chat because it just makes us feel good we completed it.
All right, we appreciate you guys. We will have coverage of the open scrimmage tomorrow.
Oh, Dante Stallworth.
That will be videoed and posted on the YouTube channel tomorrow.
Dante Stallworth from?
I don't know.
LSU Eunice.
That would be one.
That'd be awesome.
Rafe Rhymes.
They have a football team?
No.
They could.
They may as well with the
I don't think
baseball.
Louisiana
Or was
doesn't
that
have
Shreveport?
any. No, LSU Eunice and Shreveport are both baseball.
They put up like 40 runs the other
LSU
day.
Alexandria is basketball. Very good basketball program. But LSUE went on a run of like undefeated season after undefeated season after undefeated season.
I think Connor Benj played there once upon a time.
LSUE? Yeah.
But
Tanner Reeves played there too?
No, he was at
played
Glenn.
Glenn?
Cam
Glenn.
Newton.
Oh, yeah, Cam Newton U.
Alvin
Tennessee.
Kamara.
Yes, thank you, Fonz. That's where Dante Stallworth went.
All right, we appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Monday, 7 to 9. Once again, thank you for coming in and dealing with us and playing the games.
Vegas, quick Wordle.
He doesn't want to go back
to work.
We'll be back on Monday. Make sure you check the YouTube channel tomorrow. We'll have the full clips of the open scrimmage posted once that wraps up tomorrow. We appreciate y'all. Enjoy some baseball this weekend. Go Tigers.
Tigers by a million. Play my theme music.
But we can never put on the same shoes. I've been giving L's like I know love and I can't lose. For myself, man, I can't lose. For my family, man, I can't lose. I grind hard and I can't lose. I'm stacking days, man, I can't lose. Big step, but we can never put on the same shoes. I've been giving L's like I know love and I can't lose. For myself, man, I can't lose. For my family, man, I can't lose. I grind hard, man, I can't lose. I'm stacking days, man, I can't lose. Business is business.